Hello everyone, once again welcome back to the DSA with Daksh series. Myself Daksh Patel, and today we're gonna solve question number 167 of Leetcode. It's basically two sum second. Okay, input array sorted, and this is our DSA series day 36. Okay, we completed our 35 days with the fluency and consistency, and yesterday we solved question number 270. It's basically our like duplicate question where we have to find that this given arrays duplicate values or not. If yes, we have to return true. If no, we have to return false. Okay. Yesterday question will like use scene array for that purpose, like scene object, and we'll completed that question. If you does not watch yesterday's video, you can check out the video link in I button. Okay, and I hope you guys doing well, like understanding questions and try to do things by yourself. And if you have to master DSA, you are at right place. Okay, just one thing you have to do is like stay consistent and try to do things and tasks by yourself to improve yourself according questions and think about multiple approaches. So firstly I'll explain to this question, okay, and afterward then we move to the approaches part. Okay, so let's start with the question explanation. So given a one indexed array, okay, you are given one indexed array, not zero indexed array of integers numbers. Array's name is numbers, that is already sorted. So one thing they cleared, the array is already sorted in non-descending order. Okay, find the two numbers such that they add up to a specific target. You have to find two numbers which is such of add up to equal to a specific target which is already given in a question. Number, let two numbers be numbers index 1 and numbers of index 2, where index 1 is greater than or equal to 1 and index 2 is less than and equal to numbers per length. Okay, so basically both index is are between 1 to length of the our array, and index 1 is less than index 2. Okay, return the indexes of the two numbers. Index 1, you just have to return both indexes, not the value of indexes. You have to return only indexes added by 1 as an integers array, index 1 index 2 of length 2. Okay, so the once they added, it becomes to the like our target. The tests are generated such that there is exactly one solution. You may not use the same element twice. Okay, you does not have to use one element twice. Okay, in the question is like all test cases are created as like that, so you have only one answer at a time. Okay, for one test case there is only one possible solution. Your solution must use only constant extra spaces. Your solution does not have to take any extra new array or object or either list or set. Okay, you have to only use constant spaces, one or two variables. Okay, I'll quickly explain example one. Input, so number array given in a non-descending order sorted 2, 7, 11, 15. So target is 9. So you have to make some like 2 plus 7 becomes 9. So you have to return 1 and 2. The array's index is 1 index. So starting from the first index, not 0 index. So 2 becomes first index, 7 becomes second index. So answer is 1 and 2 in array. We'll return like that. You can check out that output and explanation. So now we move to the condition part for that. Okay, one more you can check out that example. Okay, minus 1 plus 0 becomes minus 1 and target is minus 1. So you have to also include 0. Okay, so now conditions is length of the nums array is 2 to 3 into 10 to the power 4. Okay, minimum there is two element in our nums array, sorry, numbers array. The numbers of I is greater than or equal to minus 100 and less than and equal to plus 1000. Okay, numbers is sorted in non-descending order, and the target value is also between minus 1000 to plus 1000. The test cases are generated such that. Okay, I hope we were clear about the questions, examples, and conditions. So now we move to the approaches part. I'll explain all possible approaches. Okay, so for this question, currently we want to use first approach as a brute force method. Okay, so because they want we does not use any new extra arrays or objects, so that's why first approach is our gonna is brute force method, where we use two nested for loops and inside we move some conditions, and after we decide that whether it which index is are based on current equations. And second approach, we gonna use we use something like left shift and right shift according, right? We I think, okay, let me explain you. So first, for like second approach, we'll take just not taking entirely two nested loops. We're taking two variables. One is starting from the first index, another is starting from the end index. We're summing that part, okay. And the first variable is moving to the end of the our object array, and last one coming to the starting of the object, okay. So for using that, okay, we does not have to take an entire new for loop. The one for loop should be enough for that, okay. So okay, while I am writing code, you will better understand that part. So let's start with the first approach, our brute force method. So first I'll use one for loop, outer for loop. Let I equal to 0, I is less than dot length I. Here we want to take one more. So let j equal to I plus 1. Okay, you know why I'm doing this. Yesterday's question I'll explain about this. Numbers dot length j. Okay, so if our number of I plus number of j equal to target, return I plus 1 comma j minus 1. Because we are using one index array, that's why I have to add plus 1 and subtraction of minus 1. Okay, so this part is completed. Now I run to know that whether it is correct or not. Okay, we have to use numbers, not numbers. It's numbers array only. Okay, numbers array is there. Right. What? Okay, here we also want to add this current value. We have to also increase that also, for because this is one index array and we started loop from 0, so we have to convert that part to one index, so we have to add up plus 1 at both sides for I and j also. Now you can see that our all test cases are accepted, all three of, and now we submit for further lead code test cases. Okay, so I hope you got about clear about this first approach. We use in many questions, so you will know that how this works. Okay, our this is accepted, all 24 test cases passed, and our runtime is 43 ms. So okay, so this is our first approach, where we just taken nested loops. Okay, the time complexity is order of n square, such a wide. Okay, so for second approach, we'll removing this whole thing and taking two new variables from left to right, and another variable from right to in left. Okay, so let's start with the removing. First I'll remove this whole thing. Okay, for second approach, the array is like you can assume a 5 index array. So for first left variable moving from 0 to 5 indexes, and second variable is moving to 5 to 0. Okay, so first the value 0 and 5 comparison happen. After that comparison happens between second index and fifth index, then like third index and fifth index, like that. Okay, and until we got our solution, or the question is exactly one solution. If we got one solution, we'll return it and skip to the another like breakdown whole loop. So let's start with the declaring left variable left equal to 0. Okay, let right equal to number dot length minus 1. It's means last. Okay, so now I have to take a while loop. for specific conditions, if we have to work like left is less than right until we got our middle. That's how we started this loop. Const sum equal to numbers of left, okay, plus numbers of right. Okay, the sum variable, sum in this thing. If sum equal to target, if this is equal to target, you should return left plus 1 for our array is one index, so we have to do that adding of plus 1, right, plus 1, okay. And if it's not, else sum is less than target. If the sum is less than target, okay, the first thing we clear to you is it's a sorted array. If the less than array, so it means that your current value of left is less than, you want it more higher, so you have to move to one step ahead, okay. So yeah, okay, yes, so you have to increase left plus plus value of left increase. Else, if your sum is greater than target, so you have to come below, okay, you have to decrease the right value, right minus minus, okay. I hope you got clear about this whole thing. So first we'll check about that. This is okay. So this variable starting from first part of the your code, okay, code is accepted. Here first it will check 2 with 15, okay. 15 plus 2 becomes 17. It will say that it's greater than target. It's basically our last, okay. Else, so we to decrease the rights value, so now it's come to 11. 11 plus 2 is also 13. It's greater than 19. It will again decrease the right value. Now 2 plus 7, it will increase, so these conditions work and it will return its value, okay. Yeah, if you have to check this part, so firstly it will check with the 2 plus 4, okay, first and last, it's equal to 6, it will end it, okay. So now I'll submit this for further lead code test cases, okay. And here one more thing is our these two variable helps us to figuring out whether it is correct or not. And the base of that is depends upon questions one line. Yeah, wait, I'll show. Okay, this is also accepted. The question they given to you is one more interesting condition. The test cases are generated such that there is exactly one solution. So it does not have to iterating each and every. Okay, if you check first with last, okay, you got it that like one more. This is sorted. Okay, so first and last, if it is greater, you have to come below, and if it is smaller, you have to go upside. Okay, if it is greater, you have to come downside. Okay, so it's really easy to count you. Okay, you does not have to use nested loops. Okay, nested loop is also one more approach, but this one approach is simpler for you. Okay, also you can try inbuilt functions for that question. So yeah, you can try inbuilt function methods by yourself. You can use like that what our splice and map and like that. Okay, reduce. So this is our part completed. Now I'll explain time and space complexity for the code. Okay, so now it's time to understand time and space complexity for this our two approaches. Okay, so in our first approach we using two nested for loops, one for loop from zero to zero to end of the our number array. Okay, second for loop from the current i's value to the end of the our number array. Okay, so I you can stop the video and try to think about that whether it is which is order of n square or order of n or n log n. Okay, and you can comment it if it's correct. I'll reply to you. Okay, so it basically becomes order of n square time complexity because we are using uh, for loop to move to the end of the array. Okay, if you are using it according partially or exponentially, so it will become log n form. Okay, but it's becoming each and every condition iterating to the end of the our number array. So it will becomes order of n square. Okay. So time complexity is order of n square. Okay. And space complexity, you know that the question is already given to you. The solution must use the only constant extra species. So space complexity is order of one. Time complexity is order of n square. Okay. So you can try this second approach, time and space complexity. Okay. You can stop the video and calculate and answer it in comment. So for this question, our space complexity remains same, order of one, because we does not using entirely new array or object, using two variables and iterating in such a way. Okay, is compared to the our array's length, it is very small. Okay, so the time complexity for this code is order of n. We moving in only one way. Okay, maximum this loop while loop checks cases is n cases. Okay, and in some of the way it will only check half of the n cases, but time complexity is order of n. Okay, by his left is less than right. Okay, so you can see here that how many possible test cases 2 are checking is for 2 with 15. Okay, with 11. Okay, and 7 with 11. Maximum test cases are up to n, not greater than n. So the time complexity for this is order of n. Its space complexity is order of 1. Okay, so for our first approach, time complexity is order of n square, which is greater. And second approach is well optimized with time complexity is order of n and space complexity order of 1. Okay, you also try to find your approach time and space complexity. Okay, so now we move to the tomorrow's question. Okay, so now we move to the tomorrow's question part. Tomorrow we're gonna solve question number 1000 like 662. Okay, it's basically check whether if two string array is equivalent or not. Okay, this one question. And today we solve question of medium level. Okay, so this question is not easier as much as our started level, but we are increasing in our level. Okay, so now you are in intermediate level. In some days you will be able to solve higher level question, advanced level question. So you have to stay consistent. Okay, so this question is there is check if two string arrays are equivalent. Okay, the two arrays of string given, you have to check that both are equal or not. But the thing is, in array you sort terms. Okay, first index, second index, third index. On first index there is a, on second index there is ab, on third index you have c. Okay, so combined you can check that a b c. Okay, it's your value string. Okay, in the second or second array you have values of first index a, second index b and third index c. So these both are equal. Okay, you does not have to check the index of first index say third index. No, you does not have to check like this. You have to convert it to string. Okay, hold each and every object, each and every places, and then after you have to check and see that whether it is correct or not. Okay, if two arrays represent the same string, okay, true is written true if two arrays represent same string, and false otherwise. A string is represented by an array if the array element is concatenated in order forms the string. So okay, the first example are there. Word 1 with the A, B and C, it still becomes ABC, and word 2 with A and BC, it also becomes ABC. So you can check that ABC. You can see that output is true. Okay, like that example 2, there is ACB and DBC. Okay, it's obviously not correct, so it will return false. Here you can see that A B C D E F G. Okay, and here all are combined with A B C D F G. So these both are same, so you can return true. The length of the array does not matter. Matter is that both string is equal. So you have to think according to that. Okay, so length of the both word is between 1 to 10 to the power 3. Okay, basically between 1 to 1000. And word 1 of I dot length and word 2 I dot length is also between 1 to 1000. Okay, the sum of word 1 dot length is greater or equal to 1 and lesser than or equal to 10 to the power 3. Okay, the word I and word 2 It consists of lowercase letters. Okay, this is one more helpful tip they given to you. The both word consist only English lowercase letters. Okay, so it's very helpful to. Okay, the question is there's not any extra risk. So you can try these questions after completing and successfully solving. You can post it on LinkedIn and Twitter. Mention me. Okay. So if you find any doubts about today's question, you can ask me in comments. Okay, I'll solve your doubt. So and if you're not started yet, this is the series link in I button. You can start with the day one where I'll explain each and everything about this series, how you can master DSA, what should you have to do each and everything. So you can go and check out that video. Okay, thanks for watching the video. Meet on the tomorrow's video.